Hey everyone, welcome back. Let's get into the Saturday slate for the college basketball world. This is kind of the time of the year where we start locking it in and really start figuring out who's who within college basketball as the March Madness tournament really starts taking shape. I'm Mark. Welcome back to the channel, and you have found TBM Sports. So that's very important for you guys to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, join us here. It's completely free to do so. Also, we do have a free Discord available to each and every one of you guys. All right, let's keep it clean in there and get the bets going. All right, so this is kind of an interesting slate. I've been looking forward to this day's card for a couple days now, especially with the kind of what we've had. I'm sick of betting Ivy League and Horizon League games. Let's get into some meat and potatoes as we look into some SEC action today. There's a huge slate of basketball, and guys, full disclosure, this is a slate where I actually kind of have a volume day. This is going to be a volume day here for the channel because I do favor a lot of favorites, and that's either going to be really good or really bad. And if you guys are moneyline parlay bettors out there that just lay moneyline favorites and you play that kind of strategy, and that's how you bet, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But that's kind of the way it goes here. So yeah, parlays are for fun. Straight bets are for winners, okay? So let's get into the action. To do so, we are going to use OUTLIER to break down these games. There's going to be a ton of games that I have leans and plays on, and actually it's going to be 6 or 7 official plays so that I will be locking in for today in terms of straight outrights. I like a lot of close games and really looking to turn in a 5-2, 6-1 kind of day and get kind of steamrolling these units here as we close out the season. All right, but let's look into the first game that we will want to talk about, and that's going to be Oregon and Wisconsin. I'm only mentioning this game because Wisconsin, I lean 8.5, lay the points. Wisconsin team total, go over that. That's kind of where would be my best bet. Take the Wisconsin Badgers team total over. The market really fully hasn't adapted to kind of what they've done. Keep in mind, though, Wisconsin really struggled to score above 80 points, and then the last 3 games getting above 90. They're due for regression, okay? But Wisconsin is one of the Big Ten teams that I've been telling everybody, you need to have a futures ticket for the Badgers for March Madness. If you want to play them to make the Final Four, win the championship, make sure you guys open up those positions. That's one of my favorite futures plays out there. Also in the Big Ten, do not be scared of some Maryland back in the Terps as well. Just really like their guard play, and their offense really can make a run in March, okay? Next game in the card that we will have a play in, we're going to go back with Buzz, all right? We lost some money on the Aggies, and we're going to take the 7th-ranked Texas A&M Aggies at home, kind of going into a system play with me. I usually take SEC home favorites. It's just even underdogs, it really doesn't matter. I've been backing the SEC home teams, especially off a loss against a highly ranked Tennessee Volunteers team that this is going to draw a lot of the fans. This is going to get the 12th man rocking, and I think that coming off a bad loss against Mississippi State, the Aggies bounce back. Tennessee, we're going to lay the short number. If you want to lay the minus 125 money line with the Aggies, go for it, but 1.5, I typically don't like to take, so it would be Texas A&M money line minus 125. All right, deeper down the board, we're going to kind of go through these a little rapid fire. We are going to settle in with some Appalachia. We're going to look into the Marshall Thundering Herd out of West Virginia and the Appalachia State Mountaineers, okay? Now, if you look at just straight up win-loss record, you look at the Marshall Thundering Herd, 16-12 on the season, Appalachia State 17-10. But for me, guys, this is almost auto-fade Marshall in this spot. Okay, and right now you can lay 3.5. Typically, probably the worst number I like to lay in college basketball is 3.5 points. But we're going to take the Mountaineers at home to get this one done against Marshall. This is one of my favorite bets of the day. It's just simply put a auto fade against Marshall in this spot. They're trending in the wrong direction, and I think that this is going to be where they meet a buzzsaw as the Mountaineers get this one done with ease at home. Okay. Next, Mississippi State, Oklahoma, another auto fade category team. This is kind of where you're looking where Mississippi State comes in this game boasting a very good road record. If you want to get into the nuts and bolts of it, guys, this is an Oklahoma Sooners team, 16-10 on the season, and I'm going to pull this up for you guys so you can see what's going on. All right, if we look into kind of the matchup here, look at the Oklahoma Sooners 10-4 at home, Mississippi State 9-4 at home. If I want to pull up some more numbers here for you guys, and you can see what I'm looking into. Okay, Mississippi State just beat Texas A&M 70-54, so they're riding high. They played really good. It was very athletic, very physical, and very competitive game in terms of just contesting open rebounds, as well as just really did like the passion Mississippi State played with, okay? But this is going to be something as Oklahoma comes into this game, losing 5 straight, and they're not been pretty. I know that there was losses, Auburn, Tennessee, Missouri, Florida, so you are getting a lion's share of the competition where they did lose in those big games, getting big-time points. But this is something where I do think that we're going to go against the trend here. Mississippi State, we're going to take the road team, all right, so kind of going against my system, but we are going to take the road team, the Bulldogs, as a small favorite, minus on the money line to get it done against the Oklahoma Sooners. 3-10 in conference in the SEC. I want to see the Sooners win a game and get further acclimated to the SEC before backing them any deeper. Let's keep it going here and get down the odds board. And the next game that I do want to talk about is Penn State. Very strong lean after that great performance the Nittany Lions have had that we saw a little bit earlier in the week against Nebraska. Nittany Lions come in a different little bit of a story here on the road, but 4-12 in conference. Minnesota, I think they ruined a lot of Bettor's weeks as they took down the UCLA Bruins after being down 11 points at halftime. But now as the Penn State Nittany Lions travel up there to Minnesota, this is going to be one where it's going to be very hard to turn down 3.5 points in favor of the Nittany Lions. This would be kind of where both of these teams, in my opinion, are overperforming within some recent form that would lend to the fact that take the points or take the home team, but I think this is Nittany Lions or pass. For me, it will be a pass. I just don't see any edge in taking anything outside of just the points here, and that's kind of where I would be at. I do like Penn State a little bit, but it's not enough for me to make an official play, okay? Next, Iowa State and Houston, we're going to talk about because this is a game where, quite frankly, a lot of people are going to be watching it. And the Iowa State Cyclones, it's unfortunate, top 10 team in the country, even ranked as high as top 3, I believe, throughout the season. And this is something whereas they lost their 2 top scorers for this matchup. Houston at home, 22-4 in the season, 14-1 in conference. This is a big number for Houston, but it's one where I do lean and say lay the 12. All right, so minus 12 is the best number that you can find out there. It's kind of just a play against, all right, Iowa State is really going to struggle offensively to put up numbers. And, you know, as Houston likes to play defense, I just think that this is something where in the half court, Iowa State's going to be severely outmatched in terms of offensive production, and the Cougars get this one done at home. 12 is just a big number, but I do think this has potential to get into some weird territory where the Cougars end up winning this game by 20 plus or more. So keep that in mind. And if I was going to play this, it would be on the side of the home favorite, taking the Cougars minus 12. All right. Next, we are going to look into kind of where we're at within some interesting games a little bit deeper, and we will get into some more official plays. I know we did a couple leans back-to-back, and unfortunately, we're going to hit you with another lean, okay? This is where the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, after the comments from Micah Shrewsbury, is in that press conference really leads me to believe that this team is cooked. And I am a Notre Dame backer, full disclosure, and I'm trying to be as, when it comes to money and there is no emotion, this is pure objectivity. And Pittsburgh coming into this spot here, minus 1.5, a short road favorite, 16-10 on season. This is kind of where it's a very, very sharp side for Notre Dame, and I just can't get down with it. This is going to be a pass for me, but if I did not see some of the backing. You can see right here from some of the betting splits that the money is favoring Pittsburgh, albeit a lesser amount of the percentage of the bets. So the betting splits handle is in favor of Pittsburgh, but just being honest with you guys, Notre Dame is the sharper side at home, and I just can't swallow that pill. My numbers are saying bet Pittsburgh, and this would be the biggest play of the day for me, but it kind of has a little bit of a smell to it. So you can trust my numbers and lay it with Pittsburgh. Great. I probably will end up kind of FOMOing into that as we get closer to 215. Can't resist fading the Irish, but this is something where it does have a little bit of a stench to it where I want to stay away from this game wholeheartedly. Notre Dame got blown out by SMU at home. There's only so many pep talks you can give your team, and that's kind of where I'm at within Notre Dame. I think the fans have given up. It is a weekend game, so that Joyce Center will be rocking a little bit, but I still think Pittsburgh has enough to lay the money line here, minus 130, and cover this short number, okay? The next game that we're going to get into is Vanderbilt, the Commodores hosting the Ole Miss Rebels. As we look at Ole Miss, 8-5 in conference, 19-7 in the season, 24th team ranked in the nation. Short number here at home. I do like Vandy minus 1.5. That will be an official play. It is the right side to be on. It may not be the winning side, but it's kind of where the numbers line up. This is a tough spot for Ole Miss. Vanderbilt needs a win to solidify their March resume, and I think that right now, the betting splits agree with me. 79% of the handle is backing the Commodores, albeit 54% of the bets that have been printed, and I do like Vanderbilt quite a bit. This is one of my official plays, one of my favorite plays that I think they get it done at home at a short price. So Nashville will be rocking, and we're going to back Vanderbilt in this spot. Okay. Next game that we are going to have a play in, this is going to be a interesting spot for Baylor, okay? Baylor's dealing with the injury bug as well, and they can't get off their horse a little bit as well. As we look at Baylor dropping 4 of their last 5 ATS, a recent loss against Arizona, 74-67, where a lot of people had the Wildcats to lose that game. Not here at TBM Sports. We had Arizona money line, and that's kind of where I think Baylor's coming in this game a little bit undervalued. Colorado's one of the worst teams in the country. They don't have Deion Sanders coaching, and they don't have Travis Hunter hooping it up and lacing it up for the Buffs. So that we are going to take Baylor, a road favorite, minus 5.5 here, minus 110 as an official play. I know that the actions on on Buffalo, on the Buffaloes, probably one of the, I guess you would call it sharper sides, is taking Colorado at home. I've just been kind of in that mindset where Colorado for me is like an instant fade, okay? They gave up 79 points against Iowa State in a game where I really didn't think Iowa State was going to score too much. They got, losing by 12 at Kansas. It's a hard place to play, but Kansas is kind of showing some signs of weaknesses, and it's just a spot where I think Baylor does, albeit have 2 of their forwards out for this game. I think that Baylor gets this one done. They're a horrible road team, too. Keep that in mind. So it's not a lock of the century kind of play for me, but this is where Baylor, they don't cover on the road, 2-10 ATS on the road. I just am fading Colorado, okay? That's simply put what I'm doing. So this is almost just a no analysis necessary, just fading Colorado, and it's kind of why I'm doing a volume day here, because there is a lot of favorites I like, and I don't try to be too chalky, but sometimes the numbers do line up. So give me the Baylor Bears here, minus 5.5, all right? Next, this is going to be an interesting game where it is an intriguing matchup. Clemson and SMU. Now, when we talk about this game, it's going to come down to Clemson's three-point shooting versus if SMU can handle the rock. Okay, so turnovers are going to be a very big question for the Mustangs at home. 20-6 hosting the Clemson Tigers, 18th in the country. All right, 21-5, 13-2 in the ACC, and I do like SMU here, plus 1.5 at home at plus 100. Okay, you can even find a 2.5 out there in the market. Shop around. I do like the Mustangs, what they were able to do against Notre Dame. Clemson had their way as well against the Irish, and this is also something where if you want to break down some of the insights that really do lead me in this direction, it actually kind of is in favor of Clemson. SMU is 1-7 in their last 8 games as an underdog, but I just think that right now SMU is playing some good ball, and I'm going to take the Mustangs here as a short home dog, okay, within the ACC. All right, and as we get a little deeper, there's a lot of games that we're going to talk about. Like I said, this is a very exciting card. Okay, so stay with me. And if you guys are still watching, make sure you guys all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Join us here at TBM Sports. All right. more on some hoops. Let's get into the next game. This is going to be something where we aren't going to look at the Auburn number one team in the country, 24-2. We're not going to back them. That's too big of a number against Georgia. I'm going to stay away from that one. Kansas staying away from that one. Can't trust the Jayhawks in this moment in time, okay? And as we get a little deeper, this is kind of where I'm going to show you guys where I'm at with a couple games. This is a huge card, so keep that in mind, all right? And that's another thing within betting strategy. Just because it's a huge card and there's a lot of games, a lot of time slots, don't go chasing and don't think just because there's 1,000 games you have to bet them all. I'm just giving you guys a lot of my picks because there are quite a lot of edges that I do find. And the next one we're going to talk about is Bethune-Cookman. All right, fresh off a loss, 11-15 in conference, facing one of the worst teams in conference, Alabama A&M. I do favor Bethune-Cookman money line on the road, minus 145. It's a steep number. I'm not willing to lay the 2.5. If you do want to lay a juiced up 2, go for it. But this is where I think Bethune-Cookman, one of my favorite plays of the day as well, on a bounce back spot. So give me the Wildcats in that one. All right. Next, we're going to talk Florida Gators and LSU Tigers. All right, 10.5 is a big number. You can find 10s out there in the market. LSU had a good win, albeit it was against a very, very, very kind of struggling team. Where it's almost South Carolina's an auto fade as well. But this is where the Gators, a lot of you guys have futures probably with the Gators. One of my final 4 picks. This is a team where no one's really proven that they can handle them. Okay, 23-3 overall, 10-3 in conference. Home road doesn't really matter. I just don't know when we're going to see that let up from the Gators. But this is another big number that I would lay with the favorite, laying Florida minus 10. That would be kind of where I'm at within that matchup. Okay. Indiana State and Belmont. This would be a play towards the over 171. This is something where it's just too high for me of a number for me to make this an official bet, but if I was going to play this, this is where we're going to lend towards the over in Indiana State and Belmont. All right, this is where you've seen Indiana not really cover this number. This is where they've been 8 of their last 10 games have went towards the under. For Belmont, and and 10 out of the 10 last games for Indiana State have went under as well. So all the betting trends line up for the under, but sharp money on the over here, Indiana State and Belmont. That's kind of where I would be at. So it is a lean over 171 for this spot. Okay. The marquee game of the evening is going to be 6 o'clock tip-off, Kentucky and Alabama. This is going to be a spot where Alabama looks to bounce back. At home, it's a huge number, 10.5. This number has rose a lot from 7.5. For me, guys, it's a lot of points to bet against the Wildcats. I know they have some injury concern. Mark Sears and company for the Crimson Tide, they have injuries as well. But I think that they bounce back in this big number at home. But I think Kentucky keeps it close and stays within the number. I'm just not willing to get down with it. Another high total, 179.5. With Alabama, anything is possible. If I was going to bet this game, I would go Alabama team total over, and that's kind of how I view it, okay? Deeper down the board, we're going to get into some more picks as we keep going down the odds board, okay? So stay with me. This is kind of where it's going to lead me to my next bet. We're not going to touch the Duke game today. But the next game we're going to talk about is Missouri and Arkansas. Okay, Missouri 20-6 on the season, 9-4, going on the road as a short favorite against the Razorbacks. A lot of people like the Razorbacks in this spot, but this is where we're going to go another bet on the short favorite, right? Fresh off a huge win against Alabama. Now the Tigers come in minus 1.5. If you saw what they did offensively, how do you not get down with Missouri? That's going to be where I look at this as one of my favorite plays as well. Taking Missouri on the money line minus 125. If they don't get it done, so what? But right now they are steamrolling, going against Calipari and company. Give me Missouri as a short road favorite, okay? Next, we are going to look into kind of an interesting game. This is where we get into the West Coast action, and BYU going on the road against Arizona. This will be a lean where a lot of people like the Wildcats here. They don't lose 2 at home back-to-back, and right now 7.5-point favorite at home, 18-8 on the season. And if you watch BYU play against Kansas, that was an outstanding offensive performance, and I just don't know if BYU can repeat that, okay? And this is kind of where you look at a bounce-back spot, a letdown spot, whatever you want to call it. I just think that this is just too big of a number here, and if you saw anything about how BYU played, it's very hard not to take the 7.5, 8 points, whatever you can find. So it would be a lean on the Cougars. However, a lot of smart money is on Arizona in this spot. Excuse me. So that's kind of where it would lean towards BYU for me, taking the points in this matchup, okay? Then the last game on the card, Colorado UNLV. This is a fade UNLV spot for me. Colorado State -2.5 is an official play. You want to take the money line -138. That's kind of where I'm at. Just lay the money line. I think that the Rams get this one done. UNLV has been trending in the wrong direction. I know Colorado State's going on the road, but 17-9 on the season. I like Colorado State in this spot, so I am backing the Rams here as another road favorite, and that's kind of where I'm getting at. I like all the favorites, and I don't like to get chalky, but sometimes that's just the way the card sets up. So give me Colorado State to get this one done on the money line, -138, okay? And then the last game on today's card that we will have a play in, this is probably one of my favorite plays, so I saved the best for last. Towson, 18-10 on the season, going against Camel, and the Fighting Camels, we're going to lay -125 on DK. This is the money line play of the day for me. They have 2 conference losses for the Tigers, and I just don't think they get another one here. So I do like Towson and their stifling defense to really disrupt Camel, what they're trying to do offensively. Also, very good road team where I look into kind of where they're trending versus Camel, and this is one where it's a bad spot for Camel. So give me the short money line favorite on the road, Towson -125 to wrap up today's card, okay? So just a quick recap. If you guys haven't done so, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Also, if you want to become a channel member and give back to TBM Sports, there is a link down below to do so. Also, follow me on X. But the plays that we will have as official plays, Colorado State money line, Vanderbilt money line, App State laying the 3.5, Baylor laying 5, Texas A&M money line, Mississippi State money line, and the Towson money line. So that's kind of where I'm at. Gave you guys a lot of leans as well, but we're going to see what happens here as we lay 7 favorites on a Saturday. So what could go wrong, right? But just all bets aside, this is going to be one where it's an exciting card. Enjoy the action. We'll see you guys all tomorrow for another video where we talk about the best bets on the Sunday card. But I appreciate you guys all watching. Thanks again, and thanks again for being part of the channel. Good luck with your picks, and we'll see you guys all tomorrow. Cheers.